Let's put together a mixed planter using a collection of my rooted plant cuttings. We are planting the Philodendron Brazil, Scindapsus pictus, Pothos, and Monstera siltipicana. Just like for any other repot, grab your plant, or in this case, your cuttings. You will need a nursery pot and a decorative planter. Make sure the nursery pot fits inside the planter and that it isn't too snug. Adequate airflow to the roots is very important. Whilst we're talking about roots, you want to make sure they are at least 2 inches long to give them a better chance of survival. Before adding any potting medium to my pot, I like to add some mesh. This prevents soil from falling out the bottom. You will also need a shovel or trowel, and of course a good indoor potting mix. The one I am using is a well-draining blend, which is perfect for the plants we're potting up today. This potting mix is a mix of composted bark, perlite, cocoa coir, and a slow-release fertilizer. This 8 kilo bag will fill about 950 ml pots. These ingredients encourage better root growth and water retention while still providing optimal drainage. As there is a slow-release fertilizer already in this potting mix, I'm not going to add any plant food at this stage. Fill your nursery pot about halfway with the potting mix. This creates a stable foundation for our cuttings and ensures they're not sitting too deep. You don't want the stems covered in soil, just the roots. If you have multiple cuttings in one vessel like me, you will need to gently separate any tangled roots to encourage them to spread out in the new soil. This will help the cuttings to become established plants faster. As you can see, I am creating a mixed planter and potting my cuttings together. I have propagated a Philodendron Brazil, Scindapsus pictus, Pothos, and Monstera siltipicana. When potting plants together, it's important to consider their care requirements. These plants all have similar light, water, humidity, soil, and food needs, making them ideal companions. You can't plant a string of pearls and a fern together, or a Christmas cactus and a philodendron. They must have the same care, especially water and sunlight. When potting a plant, make sure you tap the sides to settle the soil and eliminate any air pockets. This ensures the roots are in close contact with the soil. You want to add soil up to the base of the plant, but don't bury it too deep. Make sure any exposed rooted nodes are covered to encourage further root growth. You can use your fingers to gently press the soil around each plant and tuck in any stray roots. If they pop up, you can add a bobby pin to hold them down. As you can see, I'm spending quite a lot of time arranging my cuttings, shaking the pot, and adding more soil. If you are doing a simple repot, you won't need to tap, shake, and top up as thoroughly. You can see here on the Monstera siltipicana that most of the nodes have started to root. I'm going to tuck these into the soil as well. This will help make this plant bushier. After a few more minutes of tucking, shaking, and adding soil, I am now satisfied that the roots are planted. Let's have a closer look. You can see none of the nodes or roots are exposed, which means it is now finally time to water. One of the most important steps to successfully transfer water propagations to soil is to thoroughly soak the soil. Giving the pot a good soak helps to settle the soil and prevents transplant shock. Remember, your plant has happily been growing in water. Putting it in a dry medium will stress it out. I poured water on the top of the soil and also left it in a bowl of water to sit for about 15 minutes. This ensures that all of the soil is fully saturated and that the roots are wet as well. Allow the excess water to drain completely. You don't want the plant sitting in water in its decorative pot. Once the water has slowed to a dribble, you can slide the nursery pot inside your decorative planter. I nearly always use nursery pots for my plants for a few reasons. They provide excellent drainage, make repotting easier, and are generally more convenient. Plus, if you change your mind about the decorative pot you have chosen, you can easily swap it. And there you have it, a beautiful mixed planter created from propagated cuttings. This is such a great way to expand your plant collection and add some more greenery to your space. Planting multiple cuttings together means you will have a unique planter as well. If you're like me and are addicted to propagating plants and have them covering all surfaces, then potting them together is a space saver and also makes a beautiful gift. Thanks for joining me today. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. Feel free to leave any questions in the comments below and let me know if you would pot different plants together, and if so, which one. Happy propagating and happy planting.